Good morning. And Mr. Adams, your name for the record, please.
Christopher Adams.
Okay. And Mr. Martinez, your name for the record, please.
Mark Martinez.
Okay. So I'm going to have you both please raise your right hands. You solemnly swear from the testimony you're about to give this matter the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, I do.
I thank you. Please remember your hands for your pockets. And now, I understand, if I recall correctly from last week, there's a discrepancy. You purchased the property, Mr. Adams, and Mr. Martinez has been at the property, states that he doesn't pay rent. He is the handyman, correct? That's what Mr. Martinez stated.
The manager, not the handyman.
I'm sorry, manager. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay. So I asked for copies of leases, and so I'll take a look at those, please. Mr. Martinez, you stated that you had something.
The lease that I have is 8 years old, and it's the only one that I've ever signed. That.
Okay, so where is that?
I don't. That was 8 years ago. I do not have it in my possession.
Okay. Who's Sahewal Salim LLC? Who's that?
The old.
That's the previous owner.
Landlord.
Okay.
Can I explain what you're looking at there?
Well, this is what I'm looking at, a lease agreement.
Yes, so there's the old lease agreement from 2022.
Right.
Then you will find a request for application. I believe he moved or something. And then there's the new lease agreement that will be following it.
Okay.
And then underneath that, there is the proof that the rent increase was delivered on December 2nd. It is a close-up version of it so that you can read the rent increase. And then there is a name or a confirmation.
Sir.
Hey.
No.
Sorry.
We're not going to do all that.
All right. Sorry.
Okay. So, Mr. Adams, just for a moment. Mr. Martinez, did you move out and move back in?
No, never.
No.
I've lived there for 8 years straight.
Okay. So this appears to be, is this your application for lease rental?
Can't see it.
I have a copy for him if he would like.
Oh, that's his copy? Yes, there you go.
Are we on the same thing? Yes. Okay. Excuse me.
Hold on. You know what I'm going to do? Here. I'm going to have Mr. Martinez, before he does anything else, have him put his signature on this piece of paper, please. And his initials. He initials something. I'd like to see what his initials look like.
I got my ink pen.
What's that?
I had an ink pen, but I'll have to pick him up. Yeah. Initials.
I can, okay, Mr. Adams,
Yes.
when did you place the rent increase? When did you purchase the property?
I purchased the property in
August?
October.
October.
No, August. Sorry, August.
I thought I remember you saying August.
Yes, it's August. There's two houses I purchased, the other house in October. Next door.
That was August of 24, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And Mr. Martinez, write today's date on there for me, please. And your name is Christopher Adams, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So do you have Mr. Holstein with you here today, sir?
I do not have him here. I have him sign the letter.
So you're saying that Mr. Martinez paid rent in October and November?
Yes.
Did you pay rent in October and November, sir?
I've not paid rent, and I lived there for 3 weeks, and he made me manager after that. I haven't not paid rent after
Wait,
that.
what? You lived there for 3 weeks?
And then he made me manager, and at that
Who
point,
made you manager?
the landlord that owned
Okay,
the
my
previous-
question is this, sir, October of 24, did you pay rent
No,
of $500?
I did not.
How, okay, Mr. Adams, you're saying that Mr. Martinez paid rent in October and November.
Yes, I received $500 from him each of those 2 months.
Okay, and how did you receive that?
It was in cash through my manager, who his name is Silas. He's not here. He's no longer my manager, but he provided the money to Silas Baker, who was my manager at the time, and I received it, and he had received a receipt.
Okay, did you pay Mr. Baker $500?
No,
Okay, let me just say this, okay? So, okay,
he's saying I paid rent, I didn't.
what's that?
I said he's.
Mr. Adams received money.
Right, he's got nothing, no reason to lie, right?
So, and I can't imagine Mr. Baker paid $500 out of his own pocket
Right,
to say, oh, that's Mr. Martinez's
right.
rent.
Mhm.
So did you pay rent in October and November?
I did not pay, I haven't paid rent since I've lived there.
So how did Mr. Adams receive $1,000 from you for those 2 months?
I don't know. This is the guy that told me that I was still the manager and I was not to pay no money, and that's how things were gonna be
Who's the
ran.
guy that told you that?
His other manager guy.
Hold on.
The guy.
Mr. Adams, at any point have you had a conversation with Mr. Martinez since you took over regarding Mr. Martinez managing the property?
Yes, I did. I said I would consider it, but I needed to sign a completely separate agreement with him if we were going to do that. I decided not to do that.
Okay. When did you have that conversation with Mr. Martinez?
Right when I purchased the property. I was told by the previous owner that he was managing,
Okay,
and I told him that I didn't, because I had Silas as the manager, I didn't need one now, but I would consider it.
okay. So, the rent that's alleged is from the time that you took over.
Yes.
Okay. So, where were you and Mr. Martinez when you had the conversation about Mr. Martinez, about you considering Mr. Martinez paying the rent?
We were standing in the property after I had purchased it and was going through meeting everybody.
Okay. Is that accurate?
No, we never talked about it. I was told by his other manager that I was still manager and I did not have to pay rent. All I had to do was work on the house, which I did until I made him mad because I didn't do the door right. And then at that point he said, hey, don't you owe me rent for a few months? That's how it all started.
Mr. Adams, is there a conversation about Mr. Martinez doing something with the door?
Yes, he was working around the house, helping out. If he had done a good job of being manager, I would have then paid him and made him manager. But he did not do a good job. I had to have somebody else come in and fix the
Did you
door.
say if he did a good job of being manager? So there was a trial period for him to be manager?
No, I had asked him to help out with a door because there was a bunch of work going on at the property, and he had offered to help out. So I said, yes, please help out. If I like your work, I will pay you for it, and then I will make you manager.
Okay, is that how that conversation went?
We never talked about the door. His manager.
Is that how the conversation went? Yes or no?
No. his manager asked me to put a steel door in the house. I did it. I replaced the flooring. I tore out the sides. And after I
Have
put
you
in
and
the new
Mr. Adams ever had a conversation, sir?
Yeah, I mean, he told me that after we got in an argument over the door, he told me, oh, by the way, you didn't pay rent in a while.
Prior to that, did you
No.
and Mr. Adams ever have a conversation? You've never had one conversation with Mr. Adams?
No.
So Mr. Adams is fabricating the entire conversation, multiple conversations that the two of you have had.
Absolutely. I wish Silas was here. I guess
Where is Silas?
He probably lying too.
Where's Silas?
He's no longer my manager, and I am having trouble contacting him. He doesn't reply very well. So I apologize if he's not here, but
So do you
Working on the house
have,
next door.
what's that,
The
sir?
guy's working on the house next door.
Who's working on the house?
Silas.
Silas is not working on the house next door.
You see him over there working.
When did you see Silas over there working?
Last week.
When's the last time you saw Silas, Mr. Adams?
I haven't seen him for a couple of months.
Okay, when's the last time you communicated with Silas?
Last week sometime. I can check my phone to tell you a specific date, but last week sometime.
That'd be great.
Okay.
You sure can.
He pays you everybody's rent money. How could you not see him in a couple of months? He's one that collects.
Sir, stop. We're not going back. You two are not going back and forth.
The last contact I have from him was Friday, January 31st.
Okay. And what was the nature of that conversation? Actually, let me see that conversation, please.
Yes. So the nature of that conversation
No, let's take a look at it.
Sorry, let me see if I can. There we go. It's discussing a disagreement about his management. He was also supposed to perform some repairs.
Hold on, sir. Please stop.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so you're in the blue?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm actually just going back up for just a moment. If you don't mind, sir.
That's fine.
And I'm scrolling back up, January 23rd. I need the actual verbiage of the notification you put on the doors on December 1st.
Right. No, 31st. We got those on the door.
Sir, stop.
That's these two.
I'm aware of that. I see that. And then it has something in white that says you never gave me Scott's or Albert's. Oh, you said you were supposed to include that in the eviction package and you didn't, so now I have to put it in. Mark's was also supposed to be $575 and you included the incorrect lease, so I had to fix that as well. What did you have to fix on the incorrect lease, sir?
I had to include the second lease. When he filed the package, he filed the first lease from 2022. So I had to include the second lease as well.
Okay,
From,
so
2024.
then Silas allegedly refers to part of a robbery. What's a robbery?
There was a robbery at the property.
Okay, so then I see there's a picture. It says Mark Martinez. It has the address, apartment number 2, and it has a number 2 on it. And it looks as though the word manager room 2 was on there in a big old label and started to be crossed off. And then it shows that there's a notice of rent increase and utilities fee adjustment. It says date December 2nd, 2024, and it's put on there with blue painter's tape. Now, let me see here. It doesn't, I'm looking to see if it gives me the details, the photo details, so that I know.
Right.
Sir, stop your mouth, seriously. So it doesn't, because it doesn't tell me when this was, it doesn't tell me the date of the picture. And then, in fact, so I'm going to actually go back to November, or October, so I can see if there's any communication between you and Silas regarding Mark's rent. Do you have a problem with that?
That's fine. It might be a ways up there.
Well, yes, I see that, but, so I'm looking at a communication to Silas, January 12th, talking about missing rents. And you're referencing him as the manager, Silas as the manager,
Yes.
but it doesn't say anything regarding Mark's rent.
That's because we had already filed the paperwork. The missing rents was rents that he has cash in his hand, but he has not given to me yet.
Okay. Okay. So then there's something from you, Mr. Adams, communicating with Silas. It says, according to Mark, there are issues with toilets, et cetera, so someone needs to go over there and check and continue to do so. So who had that communication with Mark? Did you have that communication with Mark about the toilets?
Yes, he sent me a text, I believe.
Okay, did you send Mr. Adams a text message regarding the toilets?
I believe all the discussion.
Yes or no?
No.
No.
Silas.
Who did you have a conversation?
Silas. The only person I ever talked to about that house.
You and Silas certainly talk a lot, as is appropriate, because it appears that there's lots of things that have to be fixed over there.
Yes.
It appears that you were talking about beginning on the 15th. At some point.
It was discussed with Silas that it might be easier for some of the tenants to have it on the 15th. Ultimately, we decided to go with the first.
Okay. All right, so we are now into Wednesday, October 30th. So now we're back into October at least. So while I'm looking for this, Mr. Martinez,
Yes.
you're stating that you were the manager for the property,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
Okay, so what work did you do even in October, September?
Oh, there's tons of work to do around these
No, I didn't
houses.
say what is there to do. I said, what did you do?
Well, as far as work, let's see, I tore all the paneling off one of the rooms.
Which room?
Was the office, I believe.
Okay, who asked you to do that?
Well, Silas, me and Silas talked about what I should do to the house to cover my rent. And he gave me so many jobs and this and that, and I did everything he gave me to do.
Sir, I don't want this and that and so many jobs.
Okay.
We're on the record. I need details.
Okay, let's see, I replaced the sink, the upstairs bathroom faucet.
There's only one upstairs bathroom?
Yes. I replaced all the caulking around the bathroom. Let's see what else I did. I put in a steel door.
When did you do all this, sir?
Right when they took over, I started working on the house.
You started working on the house. I thought you'd already been working on the house.
Well, yeah, I've been working on it, but as far as,
And if you've been working on the house, sir, why is it in such disrepair?
because there's a lot of work that needs to be done to that house. I mean, it can be worked on for 2 years and not cut off. There's two houses too, next to each other. It's not just one house. I was working in both houses. That's what I did in that house.
Okay, well, here I am even in October, I don't see anything regarding you, sir.
Can I say something real quick?
I'm here October 4th. I'm looking to see, let's see here. I meant to ask you earlier when we were talking, but did you pick up that mail for me that Mark was holding? Okay, so why, were you holding mail? Mr. Martinez?
I mentioned that he had mail coming into the house. I was never holding it for him.
I didn't mean that you were holding it, like, okay.
Right.
Look, okay, then Silas sends to Mr. Adams. I just lost it here. but we can't rely on Mark. And Mr. Martinez, what is your phone number?
313-856-3893.
Hold on, because there's something that you sent to Mr. Adams.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, on Tuesday, October 1st, Silas sends to Mr. Adams. Looks like we can't rely on Mark, so chances of getting all the rent. I'm serving Stephanie an eviction. Okay, and then a little bit sooner than that, somebody got a message from Mark.
Did you just call me?
No, I didn't just call you, sir. Your phone should be off.
I asked you to shut it off before you come in.
I'm sorry.
Got a text from Mark. He still doesn't want to pay it, and we can't really let him stay there for free. But maybe for now, we can at least pretend to work something out with him. What does that mean, sir?
So we were, like I said, we were discussing that he might be allowed to be manager, and I would have a separate contract with him.
Hold on. Then Silas responds, that's what I thought. Let's just have him hold it down for now for free, and I'll get him back on our team. We can address his lease after we stabilize everything else. It sounds like we can get a lot for each room. You respond with a thumbs up and say, yeah, I suppose that's fine. Oh, no, he did the thumbs up. Just as long as he understands it's temporary, there's no verbal agreement in any way, shape, or form for it to continue past the point where everyone gets updated leases. Okay. So, and then you ask, are we going to actually have him sign something for management or not? And Silas says, yeah, I'm going to clarify. He will sign something even if it's in our favor. I'll talk to him to help. I'll talk to him, it will help you, okay? So.
And nothing ever got signed.
Okay, sir, well, I mean.
For the manager.
Then there is a. This appears to come from Mark to you. And then you screenshot it to Silas. Yeah, I just talked to Silas, and like I was telling him at first, I thought you guys signed that lease, but then I realized it had Mr. J's name on it. I gave him a what up through text at 12 in the morning. Anyways, like I was telling Silas, these guys think they can do whatever they want since there's no manager at this time. Silas made it sound like you don't really need a manager over here, but I tell you, even cameras are like little kids when the teacher leaves the room. If you want to give me a decent rental amount, I'll keep everything under control, and we can move forward. If not, that's fine too. I'm balls in your court. I do apologize if I take any legal action. It won't be towards you, it'll be towards Mr. J. Have a good day. P.S. Nobody's signed a lease in the last few months, so if you have 14 leases that are recently signed, you might want to go to a plan B just to cover your ass, I'm thinking. Is this from you, sir?
Yes.
Okay, well, what the 313 number you told me about?
Oh, that was the old phone number. I just got this new phone number. You guys made for my phone number, and that was it. One I have now.
Okay. And then from Silas to Mr. Adams, just spoke to Mark. He has calmed down, but still doesn't want to pay rent and will be texting you to apologize for going off on you. So there's clearly a lack of communication. Something happened with Tim and Mark, or Tim. So Mark, Mr. Martinez, do you have a second phone?
That was.
Yes or no? Do you have a second phone?
No.
Okay. So here's the thing, right? Mr. Martinez is stating that he didn't sign the leases for dollar amounts. And if he did, I don't know. We don't have Mr. Holstein that you attached a document from. And we also don't have Silas here, who's still doing work for you. So I think it's a little bit disingenuous for you to say that you haven't had any contact with him. With Silas, he's working on the house next door to you, right?
No, he's not working on it.
Wasn't he just there as of last week?
No,
No, he was not there as of last week.
not that I know of. 3 weeks ago, he had put in some flooring,
Okay.
but that was the last work that he had done for me, and the contact I have had with him since was trying to get my money.
Okay. Well, here's the thing, right? Mr. Martinez is stating, I don't know why it's saying that he's paid rent, because there's not even anything in your text messages, September, October, November, of anything of Silas giving you any rent for Mr. Martinez. Okay? The whole thing is an absolute disaster.
Yes.
Wait.
That's a whole disaster. So, Mr. Martinez, when are you moving out? Or are you going to be paying rent?
I'm gonna be moving out.
Okay, great. When are you moving out?
Can I say one thing real quick?
When are you moving out?
How much time can I have?
That wasn't my question.
30 days?
You want to give him until the end of February, sir?
I need the room, and he's already gotten approximately 2.5 months of free rent. I would prefer shorter, but if that's necessary, I can accept that as long as he is out by then and I don't have to deal with any other problems.
Yeah, I can't guarantee you don't have to deal with any problems, sir. So,
I understand.
if I can guarantee that, perhaps we wouldn't have as high a dockets as we have.
Can I say one thing real quick?
What is that, sir?
That letter that he got your picture on the door there, I turned my phone off.
You clearly didn't turn it off. Turn it off. Power it down, sir.
I did power it down.
You didn't power it down.
I did. Oh, you got to power it down twice, I'm sorry. Okay, that letter that was on the door, I've got my letter, and after all this went down, I had everybody that's still living in that house sign the back of it.
Sir,
saying that was delivered.
at this point, there's a whole lot of things that weren't necessarily done accurately.
Right.
Whether Silas isn't doing them the way that Mr. Adams thinks they're being done or whatnot.
Right.
But the court's going to indicate then, let's see, so 10 days would be February 18th. The end of the month is February 28th. That'd be an extra 10 days. So I'm going to split that right in the middle, February 23rd. You have until February 23rd, sir,
No problem.
to move out. And I'm not ordering that Mr. Martinez owes you any money for rent, because there seems to be a complete disaster as far as who owed what, for when, what conversation occurred, didn't occur. And I find that both of you have your own versions of what occurred, and what really happened is somewhere in the middle that I can't even figure out wholly. So, in any event, I'll give you back, there's your phone back, sir. There's your documents back.
You
And
need
that
to
is
keep
what the
those.
court.
I had it in triplicate. Do you need to keep those? You can if you wish.
I can attach those to the file, that's fine. So we'll attach it, I'll have Doreen scan and email it. Okay, good luck to you both.
Thank you. Have a good
Thank
day.
you very much.
You too, officer.
Okay.